have heard a decision by Travis Kelce of his future and what he's going to be doing for the 2025 season. And he did announce, no surprise to really anybody, that he will be coming back for his 13th season. He texted the Pat McAfee show and announced that he will be returning for this upcoming season at age 36. We look at the contract, what it is right now, and he is on his final year of his deal, for the 1-year deal, I should say, making 19.8, which is higher up tier for tight ends, and he's an unrestricted free agent in 2026 at the age of 37. Now, for me, this is, start off with, like I said, I'm not surprised he's coming back. He announced too that he didn't want to go out that way, getting embarrassed in the Super Bowl against the Eagles. It was a horrible performance. As people kind of called out his maybe lack of effort or his lack of passion in that game when breaking down some plays he had for blocking and stuff. But again, not just on him, all around, from top to bottom, coaching, players, everything you name it. It was all horrible for that game. But to me, this will be the final season for Travis Kelce. It's on par with everything. Like I showed you, the contract. It's a 1-year deal. He's an unrestricted free agent, age 37. What else more does he have left in the tank? And he is still, even though he had a down season and the numbers don't flash at you, and we'll get to that in Pro Football Focus, bringing down the rankings, he was still up there with the tight ends, with yards, touchdowns, targets, and everything. He was still one of the better tight ends, even though it didn't feel like it. It's not the Travis Kelce we've known maybe a couple of years ago. I feel like the age, injuries, the hits, even like the deep playoff runs, it's just not for him, for everyone else in general, but especially for him, it's starting to take its toll on him. And you're starting to see him slow down a little bit. He's not the dominant player consistently week in and week out. He does give you those flashes in the playoffs. He can make those plays, but he's not the same guy anymore. That's not to say he's a bad player. He's washed. He's still a solid tight end, just not the guy he used to be. So if you look at Travis Kelce for his stats, it really shows the last 2 years. And you look at for targets and receptions, he's still up there. It's not like he's been completely cut off. They've really tried to phase him out of the offense. Even though, again, he doesn't feel like he is what he was a few years ago, maybe in 21, 22, 2020. He's still a big part of it. It's just that the yardage and the touchdowns are not there anymore. And especially when you look at the average yards, it has gone down. He was consistently 12 to 13 yards. To now it was 10.6 in 2023. Now it's 8.5 in 2024. And you see this past season, 133 targets, 97 receptions. Again, on par with what he's used to, but only 823 yards. And especially the biggest factor is the touchdowns. You go back to 2022, 12 touchdowns. Again, in that span, at least 9 to 12 touchdowns. I mean, it was solid to get double-digit touchdowns out of him. And now it's not. It's basically been more than cut in half. 5 touchdowns in 2023, only 3 in 2024. And he's still a security blanket for Patrick Mahomes. He's still the go-to target, especially when we see countless times on third down and key plays. He's always open. He always finds a way. Just not as what he used to be. And this is something that I think for them as well, they need to bring him back for at least one more season to see what the receivers can do. They're still trying to rebuild that receiving core, and they have good players. You hope to see that jump for Xavier Worthy in year 2 with that speed. Maybe he can put it together even more. Maybe get a little bit bigger, weight wise, a little bit stronger. And again, I think he really showed flashes this year of not just being a gadget player, but someone that can be a true deep threat. I don't want to call him Tyreek Hill, but he has the potential of playing that role, at least for that offense, and as well as Rashee Rice. But I think we forget about him because he got hurt so early on in the season. We don't know what's going to happen with the legal issues, if he will be suspended this upcoming season. But if not, he'll be up there, and he was a really good receiver for them in his rookie season, and then early on in this year before getting hurt. So you have one at least one receiver is good. The one you hope you can build off of. He keeps building off of what he does rookie year. So you have 2 good receivers. We don't know what's going to happen with Marquise Brown, who else they're going to bring back. So right off the bat, I think they need to bring Travis Kelce in for at least one more season, one final time, to really develop these guys even further. So when Travis Kelce walks away, when it's all said and done, they have two playmakers that they can go to, and it's not a situation where they're screwed over because of this, because they really, if they swung and missed on Sky Moore, which was a high pick in the second round that just hasn't panned out. They tried to trade for Kadarius Toney, did not work out. He's gone on the list. They have solid players, but really you want to bank on Xavier Worthy really panning out to what you hope to, and Rashee Rice staying on track trying to get away from the legal issues and staying healthy, and then you can have 2 good receivers. So I think it is pivotal for Travis Kelce coming back for 2025, at least for one more season. Stat-wise, I don't know what to give to you. It is worrisome that the stats keep going in the wrong direction, even though, again, the targets and receptions is on par. It's just that the stats are keep going down and down. I project, I still think he can give you 800 to 900 yards. What he's, 2024, 2023, I think that is the solid range. I don't believe anymore it is that Travis Kelce in his prime in 2020, 21, 22, where it's over 1,200 yards, double-digit touchdowns. That's not who he is anymore. He can still be one of the better tight ends in the league, but if people are expecting for him to just rejuvenate his career and just bounce back out of nowhere, I just don't see that. At this point, I think they are trying to focus on more than just being so centered on Travis Kelce, as well as just the running back position. I mean, you have Isaiah Pacheco, who was a good running back his first 2 years, and for some reason this year, just even after the injury, and it was a severe injury, he didn't look the same. And you kind of worry, hopefully he, with more months removed from that, once the next season starts, that he can bounce back. So there's more worry about that too. We don't know what's going to happen with Kareem Hunt. So yeah, it definitely is pivotal for Travis Kelce to come back. And like I said, for the numbers, even though they don't jump out at you, it was really not just for Travis Kelce, but for the tight ends in general. It was a down season for tight ends. I think all of us can say overall it was disappointing, no doubt. You look at targets, he was 3rd in tight ends with 131. He was 3rd in the NFL with 97 receptions for tight ends. He was 5th in receiving yards, 823. The touchdowns did lack with 3 at 18. But you look at it overall, he is still, for the numbers, an elite tight end. It may not feel like that anymore. It may not look like that anymore. But statistically, he is still up there as one of the best ones. Again, we have to remember, the tight ends this year were down. Oh, they were. I think another massive disappointment was maybe also outside of Brock Bowers, who had a absolutely historic season of what he accomplished. You have someone like Sam Laporta, who had, again, almost like Brock Bowers, not stat-wise, but had a phenomenal rookie season, high potential. People thought, how can this guy fall this far in the draft to the second round, and the Lions pick him up? And you saw this year, where what was that? I mean, he made plays here and there, but it wasn't even close to what it was his rookie season, at least if it didn't look like it. And you could go down the list. I mean, towards the end, Mark Andrews kind of started heating up, especially for the touchdowns, the red zone targets. But early on, people were wondering, like, where is he? Like, what's going on with this? For Bills, Dalton Kincaid, when people thought, in a way, he kind of had a historic season. He definitely was up there for receptions. I think he broke a few records for the organization-wise for tight ends. He took a huge step back. You just go down the list of all the tight ends that just weren't as, again, I think overall it was kind of like the quarterbacks last year. It was a down year for quarterbacks. It was a down year for tight ends. So you look at that, and Travis Kelce is still a viable tight end. He's not, again, washed or horrible anyway. He still is a factor. I just don't know how much left he has in the tank. And I do believe that this will be his final season. I know they talked about, I think not too long ago, I don't know if it was before or after the Super Bowl. I think it was before the Super Bowl that they thought maybe a contract extension. I just don't see that. When you look at age 37, what he has left, especially for the big money that he's going to be making, if that's what he's still looking for in that range, $19-20 million a year, maybe he'll take a discount, who knows? But if you project what he's been making the last couple seasons, and he wants to keep continuing that, for the Chiefs-wise, with their cap situation, trying to figure out players, free agents, and so forth, I look at that, I'm like, you can't bring back Travis Kelce unless he gives you a big discount to come back. You can't keep continuing with him. I do believe you maybe can go elsewhere in the tight end market, whether it's draft, free agency. I know they have their backup Gray, if I have his name right, who played well. I think it was a great 2 tight end set that they had, or tandem that they had. So you think maybe they'll go to him and lean to him being the tight end one moving forward. I just don't see a future beyond 2025 for Travis Kelce. This will be his, call it his last dance. It'll be his final season. And again, they are still in position. I don't think people should really look at this and say like the dynasty's over, everything's falling because of a horrible Super Bowl loss. And it was, again, no question, it was a horrible performance all around. But they still are capable of making it out of the AFC. They are still going to be the betting favorites. They are still going to be the people that is the number 1 pick to make it out of the AFC, because as of right now, no other team has done so. Buffalo has had a couple times in the championship game to do it. They have not. The Ravens have had a chance to do it. They have not. The Bengals are really the only team to make it out of that. And back in 2021, even then, the year after, they couldn't. So it's so far, no one has really shown you outside of that 1 year for Cincinnati that they can take down the Chiefs. Even in some cases, Buffalo's had a couple times in the divisional round they take him out early, and unfortunately have not. And it's just, again, until someone shows us, until we watch a playoff game and it's all zeros, the clock is zero at the fourth quarter and the Chiefs lose, they're going to be the favorites. Regardless of how people feel about the situation, Travis Kelce will have the opportunity to go to a fourth straight Super Bowl and win another one and win his fourth Super Bowl. This is still the capability. And again, I do believe that. He said, I don't want to go out this way. And they still have the capability. They have the offense. Like I said, they have that. I like what they have at receiver right now with Xavier Worthy, what he offers, Rashee Rice, if he can come back healthy. And also, too, regarding the legal issues, who knows what happens with that. You still have Travis Kelce, who can give you production. Even though it is the worst of his career, if you want to say, since his 14-15 season, that's still solid numbers. Nothing, again, not like Brock Bowers, not jumping out, not 1,400 receiving yards like it was, but that is still solid production. That is still one of the better productions for a tight end. So if he can still offer you that, even if he has an exact replica of 2024, he can give you that. That's still enough for the Chiefs to go far and make it back to the Super Bowl, and that is a key part. And I do worry about the future post Travis Kelce of where that's going to be, and a lot of people were worried about when Tyreek Hill left that everything's falling down. The Chiefs aren't going to be the same. It's like, no, like Tyreek Hill was a big part of the offense, but the biggest weapon for Patrick Mahomes was Travis Kelce, his security blanket, and he's shown you since post Tyreek Hill that he's a vital part. Even though the numbers may not jump out at you the last 2 seasons as they once were, he's still a vital part of that. And I do worry for the Chiefs, once he is gone, who is going to step up? Who is going to be that guy that Mahomes had that chemistry with for so many years, for his entire career? And that's going to be interesting to see. So this is going to be a last stand. They're going to put everything they can into it to try and get this, not just for Kelce, but the whole team, to win one more Super Bowl, go 4th straight, do something that is very tough to do. I mean, even with the loss, the fact they've gone to 3 straight and done what they've done in this dynasty, it's impressive. And Travis Kelce wants to go on top. And I do believe, regardless, win or loss, even if they go back to the Super Bowl again and get blown out in 2025, this will be the final season. I don't think it is smart for the Chiefs to move forward post or after 2025, regardless of depending on the money, and bringing Travis Kelce back. Because I just don't know what he has left at age 37. Going through another full, deep, 17 games and makes it that far. Another, 3-4 games in the postseason, depending on where they land in the playoffs. I just don't see that. I think this will be the final time we will see Travis Kelce on the field one more time. Maybe for a lot of people that are happy we finally get this guy off the screen, Taylor Swift off the screen. Chiefs fans and other people in general are going to me. It's the end of an era. And certainly Travis Kelce will go down as one of the best tight ends of all time. If you want to say the best ever, top 3, top 5. He does have a hell of a career, no doubt. And we'll see what he does in 2025, what he has left in the tank. And I do believe he has enough to give you solid production to be one of the better tight ends in the NFL and still be a reliable player, make clutch plays when he has to, especially in the playoffs. So it's gonna be interesting what Kelce looks like in 2025. But I don't think he's gonna be falling off a cliff. He'll be just fine, and we'll see what the Chiefs do this upcoming season.